your recruiting experience. No, definitely had a lot of guys you recruited and a lot of top talent you recruited, got to see firsthand. But with you being a former 5-star recruit, seeing 5-star, 4-star recruits coming in the door, what do you feel like is, it's a lot of things that play into it, but what do you feel is the biggest thing that plays into like the 5-star recruits or the highly talented guys not panning out or not being able to transition from high school to college?
It's funny you say that because I think you can see the guys that aren't that good that are ranked as 5 stars. Like you can see it on the film. It might be based on potential. It might be based on how they look and they get early offers and different things of that nature. But like you get guys like Micah, for example. I mean, people ask the question like, "Oh, is he going to be a bust?" And like I knew that like certain things, like Micah's personality, it's an acquired. I mean, it's an acquired taste sometimes for people, but like that's the only personality that I saw in the NFL. Like, and so you start seeing like his football character was a lot different, right, than a lot of guys. So when you see like a guy that maybe like doesn't play hard and he's just ultra talented and doing those different type of things, it's like, okay, is the sustainability there? But like what I've seen from sustainable stuff in the NFL, like they operated. And I saw Micah, he played extremely hard, right? First, before that, you have to have the size and speed measurables to go along with it, right? Like
it helps a lot.
Big enough, fast enough, and then you're good at the game. And then it's just like how you play is kind of determining or predetermining how they're going to last. You're talking about that top 1%, and it's funny because a lot of top coaches haven't even been around that before. You know what I mean? So sometimes when you see it, it's like, what's that? Right? Like, and that's why certain schools collect a lot of them, and there's a lot of attrition where they get pushed out. But Michael never had any of the red flags of a bust. He didn't have any of them. He had all green flags from a football standpoint. Like, and that's kind of how I used to view it. And I felt like that was from my time in the locker room. That's from my time, like I said, doing the scouting. That was like a culmination of all those things to be able to determine that. So it wasn't just like, oh, I'm a player, I saw this. And that's why I'm going to talk about my playing days now, because it was like a lot of the stuff I learned was from like the technical aspects and then adding my playing experience to fill in the pixels and the colorful aspects that people can't really see. When you're like, oh, I'm competing against somebody, do they blink twice? Like, is he scary? Oh, he's just running fast, but he won't bust it great. Like he ain't running through these tackles. Like you can start, you see certain things that are problematic at the next level. And when you've seen them and you see it in high school, it's like, oh, he ain't really tough. Like, oh, he doesn't really like to play. He just likes to run around. So like, there was a lot of guys like that we were recruiting. And I mean, I was like, oh, he's soft. Look at him kill this guy. I'm like, he running down. Yeah, hold up. You never seen somebody kill a guy. Huh? Like that's what I started realizing. And because the thing about football is like, there's a lot of guys within that 50 to 200 range. Like once you get around that, like, it's kind of hard to pick them apart. But that top 50 is one thing, but when you get into that like top 15, top 25, you start dealing with different cats. Like, to be completely honest with you, like makeup, just how they're able to prepare, like sometimes they're just special. And that's something that I saw when I got to the NFL. It's just like, I go to a locker room, it's like Steven Jackson, he's 6'3", 238, running 4.4. And it's just like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't a highly talented recruit. Like I don't know why he wasn't, but he was, he's a first round pick and all that good stuff. But you just start seeing like what is in the NFL, and it's like, oh, it's like there's a lot of X-Men out here. Like, hey, even it's like apex predators all around. You know what I mean? And then that's what you start looking for from a talent identification process is apex predators, not necessarily good football players.